So that is the gist of the games from last night. Before I let you go, who's coming? Who's gonna be in the finals? And I know I'm already gonna say Warriors on one side. So just tell me who's coming out of the East.
Wow. That's tough. But I'm gonna have to stick with my original pick. Back when we first started talking about this on one of your shows, I said the Celtics are gonna be there. And I see that, the 76ers, they're a little vulnerable. The Raptors, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be in the mix with Kawhi, and you got to give the Greek Freak his props at Milwaukee. But when I just look at, when Kyrie's balling and just the squad and the bench, it's hard for me to go against them. And the same thing is with the season. They had their struggles. But, I may be wrong, but I think they're going to pull it together. And, it'll probably be them, I guess they would have to go up against. When you look at the series, they'll go up against, the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Final. Is the end that way?
Right.
Yeah, so with Embiid injury prone and this their first year, having that lineup together, I really can't, pull for the Sixers. And even though I'm not a Celtics fan, but I'm just trying to look at the lineup and the talent. And, the Celtics, they got the talent as long as they can play, up to snuff. Unfortunately, Oladipo is gone for the Pacers. So I'm looking at a sweep, from them. So I don't know. What do you think?
I'm still gonna stick with my original thing when they got Jimmy Butler, which I guess that was at the trade deadline. No, they had Jimmy Butler at the beginning of the season. So when they got Jimmy Butler, I picked the Sixers. I'm gonna stick with them. I think they'll get it together. I think they'll gel together. I don't like the coach that much. I don't think he's been doing a good job developing these young guys, and that's part of the reason why they have issues. But I'm going to lean with the Sixers. Celtics definitely got a shot because, number one, you didn't have Kyrie last year. You have him this year. You didn't have, right. Number two, you didn't have Gordon Hayward, and you have him this year. So that alone should surpass you beyond what you did last year, which you went to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you got a great point. That would be my second team that I would say they'll be coming out of the East.
Okay. Yeah, I have to. When you look at the roster top to bottom, it's hard to look at the veterans, like Horford and Kyrie that has playoff, and Kyrie's got a championship, so he can definitely encourage these young guys. As long as, they get it together, as far as their locker room, there's a little beef, as long as they get on the same page, it's hard for me to pull against them. Even though the Greek Freak, has been balling out, I got to give them the props, and they're number one in that Eastern Conference division. But when they lost, who did they lose? Who did Milwaukee?
You're talking about?
I can't think of his name right now, but they lost the guy from Notre Dame. I think he was from Notre Dame. But anyway, with him down, Greek Freak can only do so much. So I don't think they can. I think the Celtics will come out of the East.
All right. Well, BS Jr. on the show. Thank you so much for coming on, Dad. Have a good rest of your evening. I know you're going to be heading out here in a minute, but I wanted to get you on because, we talk sports whenever we get on the phone. So I wanted to get you back on the show. So thank you.
No problem. My pleasure. My pleasure. You have a good Friday. Enjoy the rest of the show. I'll be listening, so I'm not leaving as yet. But I'm glad you had me on. It's always a pleasure to talk sports with you, son. God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was my pops, BS Jr. You see him in the chat room. He's got that knowledge. That's where I get it from. And I'm sure he's got a piece of paper with some stats, or he's looking through something, because we're both stats guys, and we definitely look up to get proof for what we're saying. Newcomers in the chat room, Vince Wright, Sports Governor, thank you for tuning in. Who else? We got the greatest in the building. Thank you for tuning in. DJ Nunu, thank you for coming through, listening and working. I appreciate that very much. So phone lines are open. The person that was just calling from a 585 area code, you can call back into the show. Whoever that was, I'm not sure who that was, but whoever it was, you can call in to the show. Phone lines are open. So I'm going to talk about some other topics here. Like I said, we got the games on tap for tonight. What is going on? What is going on with OKC? What is it? I know Russ is the guy on this team. You got PG-13. You have the tall guy from Australia. Can't remember his name right now, but I'm about to look it up. But you have him. Why can't this team win? Steven Adams. Why can't this team win? And maybe it's just on the flip side. Maybe it's just that Portland is just that good. I don't know which one it is. All right, so we got our next caller up on the line. What's your name and what you want to talk about?
Chandler, I was calling to actually listen to see what you was talking about, but because I didn't know what your topics were today and just saw your tweet about the show.
Yeah, no problem. We're talking about NBA playoffs, talking about college basketball news, talking about Crawford Khan, the boxing match. But what was on your mind?
You know what? I'll go with the St. John's thing for a minute because I'm interested that people are killing them for hiring Mike Anderson. Who else were they going to get at this stage of the game? They totally botched this entire thing for the past 3 coaching hires, not just Chris Mullin. The past 3 coaching hires they botched. Chris Mullin, honestly, I love Chris Mullin. He never should have been hired as a head coach. Should have been an assistant or something. He never should have been a head coach. And the fact that players keep transferring after 1 year, that doesn't say anything to anybody about what's going on with that team, why they can't keep players.
True.
So what do people expect them to do? You brought a guy in from Duke. You won't let him run his own search. It makes no sense. I think Mike Anderson is going to do a decent job, but the fact that you can't hire a guy with low eyes, as incestuous as the New York City high school basketball scene is, as incestuous as the New York City AAU scene is, you can't get one of them coaches. You can't get a coach that coming with ties to them. Speaks volumes for where that program is at right now, and that's not a good place.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even a bigger point, you have the coach from Texas Tech, which, I don't know how long he's going to stay there. He's been able to come to that team and immediately make an impact. How much money does the St. John's have to be able to throw at people? That's I don't know if you know the answer to that.
Well, they have some boosters with deep pockets. One of them, I don't listen to Francesa's show because he's a clown, and I refuse to listen to that fat clown. But one of them was on Francesa's show, and he basically torched the entire athletic department. Like the Tim Cluess thing, they didn't want to pay the buyout to get Tim Cluess. They didn't want to pay the buyout. I think the buyout was $3 to $4 million. They didn't want to pay it. They have the money to pay it, mind you. They don't want to. So if you don't want to spend the money to get a coach, no one's coming. And I think it's funny that Texas Tech, speaking of Texas Tech, one of their main players, former St. John's guy who left after 1 year.
Wow.
The Tariq, yeah. He was at St. John's. He was at St. John's. So
that's a prime example right there.
Yeah, that's the perfect example right there.
Tariq Owens. So Tariq Owens was transferred from St. John's.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna break you if you're not able to keep guys, and it's a revolving door. That does not help anything. That doesn't help recruits. That doesn't help coaching. That doesn't help anything.
No, they've had 3 guys decommit and 3 guys who are now in the transfer portal of the people that are left on the team already.
Yeah.
So Mike Anderson, good luck, bro. But in about 2 years, they're gonna be talking about he's on the hot seat too.
Yeah. Now this is. I'm sorry. Is this Alex? Are you of the Sports Opinion?
No, this is Chandler.
Chandler. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
appreciate you for calling in. I hadn't had you call in on the show before. Are you?
No, I usually bother you on Twitter a lot, so.
I'm probably tagging you. I tag everybody. People may not like that, but I do tag people. But I appreciate you for calling in. What's your Twitter handle so you can get that out there for the listeners so they can follow you and find you?
Oh, it's Night Chandler 7.
Night Chandler 7. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate you for calling into the show.
All right, bud. Good luck, man, and good job, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
All right.
All right, later. All right, that was Chandler calling into the show. First time caller. Much appreciated to get him on the show. He's first time caller. I'm assuming I must, because I tag people. I do that. I do tag people. So I do apologize if you get annoyed. Just let me know and I will stop it. Shout out to Low Key, Submissive in the building. Yeah, Mo Cheese, that was Chandler. First time calling in. Appreciate that support. Phone lines are open, 469-351-0881. We're talking NBA playoffs. If you want to talk boxing, we can do that. We got Crawford Khan coming up. Question on that front, how does Amar Khan continue to get this another fight? He's 33-4, 20 KOs. Terrence Crawford is 34-0. This doesn't seem even. This fight does not seem even to me. It seems uneven, and it seems like Bud Crawford is going to destroy this guy within a matter of minutes. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Amir Khan has something that I'm not aware of. Maybe he's going to revive himself. I know he won his last 2 fights. He had a horrible loss against Canelo. But I really wonder, is he going to be able to bounce back? Because that's not easy to do. Crawford going to kill Amir Khan. Khan is no power, says Vince Wright. Khan is a man that is the only reason why. He's a name, excuse me. Crawford will destroy him. Yeah. So what's the big fight that we need to see? What's the big fight that we need to see? Is it Crawford and Errol Spence? And I'm not the biggest boxing guy, so I'm just wondering what's the next big fight that Crawford can fight. That's what I'm curious to know. And maybe this is just Crawford Spence. Yeah, there you go. That's the same thing I'm thinking. All right, so we're talking about NBA playoffs. We're talking about college basketball news. Speaking of other college basketball news, Jared Culver of the Texas Tech Red Raiders will be declaring for the NBA draft. He was a star player. I'm not surprised. Texas Tech will not be the same team next year. They won't, because of just a lot of reasons. They have seniors. They have a lot of seniors, number one. Number two, they also have kids leaving early. And number three, I don't know how good their recruits are. I honestly don't know how good their recruits are. So you will not see them in the Final Four next year. And if you do, I will come back on here and say that I was wrong, because I don't have a problem doing it. I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong. Mochi says, Khan isn't a slouch. He undefeated since trying to move up, but I got Crawford. Yeah, he's definitely not a slouch. But is he at the status and the caliber of Crawford?